been great talking to you, and we're into the fun stuff now. I think, asked you everything that we wanted to ask and more, but we got some stuff. Emery did some digging, as
Riley did.
usual. Riley did some digging. Sorry, my apologies, Riley. I know you were watching
Yeah.
on tonight.
But
Uh,
Emery could. Whoa, what's happened there with my voice? Shit, what just happened
Yeah.
there? I think I swallowed a frog. Emery could probably answer these questions for Jared too, though.
yeah, we're
Probably.
not gonna let him, but regardless of that, Jared, we got a couple of your Instagram posts here prepped for you to kind of go through, and we're just gonna fire away with them. So, here's the first one.
Oh
Explain
boy.
this one for us.
I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My mom or dad told me that he was there, and I had absolutely no idea who he was. But I told that he was like a world champion of some sort or something like that. I thought it was really cool that I was here, but especially I know him now and I know his legacy and everything. But back then, it was just I was like, this guy looks old and he looks kind of cool, and everybody's taking pictures with him. Why not take one too? That's pretty much it.
Well, that's a pretty good way to explaining it. We'll move on to the next one here. Slide number 2. Explain this one.
That weekend, oh boy. Um, yeah, that was WK. What 2021? Um, really that weekend. I was in such a point of time in that span of 2021, kind of like in the middle of it to the end. Before I moved to junior, from a little bit before this picture to before I moved into junior, I was just getting big for the cadet cart, and it just I did what I could to make it work. But when you get so big for a cadet, there's only so much you can do, and I try my best. And really, I think in 2021, those are the only two trophies I might have gotten in that span of time because there wasn't that many people in the class, and obviously that was Charlotte. I really liked the track, and I was good at it then too, or I was decent at it. But I that span of time was not that great for me, and I was just really happy to get 2 third places. I came home with 2 trophies. They were pretty cool. They're actually right over there, and I was just so happy this weekend because I hadn't got a trophy in a little while.
All right, move on to the next one here. Explain this one. This one I think was a good find for us.
Oh boy. Um. So basically, this picture kind of goes back to one of my first times at Newcastle. Actually, my dad set my card up with this. I don't know if you know them or not. You might. Doug Stewart and Parker Stewart. I went up to Newcastle for WKA with them because after my double win at Charlotte, I think in 2022. This is 2022. Um, we tried to do the championship, and that race was not good at all because all I had was Doug, and he had tuned on nothing but a kid cart before, and I was just kind of trying to do stuff. We would call my dad to try to know what's going on, and I was just slow. And I remember that NCMP weekend, and there was this one time we brought the hubs in because it was too free. So we brought the hubs in a little bit and the rear hubs, and we somehow the keyway on the axle we used a power drill. No, not a power drill. Like
An impact?
yeah, an impact, and we torqued those MXC wheels down on it, and it blew a hole straight through.
Yeah.
And so we had no idea about it. Nothing happened in the final, and this is after that race. Me and my dad were come back together, and we're having a decent weekend. I think this is in the pre-final of this race, and just everything's going fine, and just out of nowhere, boom! Yeah, I'm just up like in the air like this, like what? And I I started spinning around. I probably went like 25, 30 miles an hour into that turn 11 barrier because I was literally just spinning around and kept spinning. It was like I hit a banana in Mario Kart. It just popped right off.
That's I think one of the best ways of explaining. Where'd you end up in the main event after this?
Um, I think I got like 7th or something like that.
That's not bad.
Nothing, nothing too crazy. But it was in 2022. The 206 Junior field at Trackhouse was actually pretty good. We had a few good drivers in there until they all left and moved to senior and left me behind for 2023.
All right, move on to the next one here. Slide number 4. Talk about this.
Oh, I remember Trevor took this picture because my mom wasn't allowed on track. I wanted Trevor's picture so bad all weekend, and she finally got him for the final. But I remember this was gonna be my best national start. It was my best national start ever, especially for a Grand Nationals. And I was doing so good. I felt like I was so fast. I could have won this race, and I went for a pass, and tried to keep it around my outside. I tried to pass him like 2 times, and he just kept around my outside, and I was done with him. So I went and I dove it in, and we touched wheel to wheel. I go up, and my chain pops off on like lap 3 or 4, and I was just so fast. I was trying to move through the field, and I'm just sitting there. I think I'm crying in this picture actually because it would have been such uh it would have been such a cool, finish. Or, even if I finished in the top 10, I would have been happy with that because that would have been my best finish at a national event at this time. And I was just so upset because previously, the race before this was my first KA race at USPKS, and I uh, I fractured my elbow that race, and that's the same weekend that uh, my wheel came off and all that. So I really wanted redemption this race. Wait, no, this was before USPKS. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it was just it
Yeah.
was awful. This race, especially CKNA Grands, it meant like so much to me. Because I was doing so good, and just to go out like that, it kind of sucked.
Yeah, so I guess looking at this picture, I feel like stuff like this has to happen. Everything, like, to me, everything's part of a plan and everything falls into place for stuff to kind of happen later on in the future. So I think, this is just, we said it with James, right? It's just another part of the story, I feel like.
Yeah.
Move on here to slide number 5. Talk about this one. This was obviously this past weekend.
Oh, dude, this is. I mean, sweeping the weekend. I didn't think I could do it. I remember going in this weekend. I'm like, I know I can get a top 5. I know I can. I really want a trophy. I really want a top 3, and just winning this race meant so much to me. Like, I'm still processing it to this day. I mean, it's only been what, 2 days since this picture, and I mean, I'm still like having those same emotions. I'm still every time I get a notification that like someone liked the Kart Chaser reel, I click on it just to like just looking at it. It makes me so happy to be able to do this finally. It took such a long time, and I felt like just people saying that it was very deserving, and that I deserved to get this win. I and even Hodgson coming up to me after the final and saying that I drove good. It just the little things that people say, the little compliments, like the little anything, it just it it brightens my mood so much just to get any sort of compliment, or a good job, congratulations on your win this weekend. I've got a few messages from people, and it makes me so happy that, I mean, I can even look back at this picture. It's actually my background right now on my computer. So I'm looking at my second monitor. I see this picture 2 times. It means so much to me. It it's still unbelievable that we get to celebrate that win.
Yeah, for sure. I think, do we have another one? We do. Talk about this one.
So basically, after the 2024 season, I was really going for the Briggs Championship because I was doing really good. I was winning, and me and Caleb were actually having a really good battle for this championship at the Trackhouse Club, which running Briggs Senior at those Trackhouse Club races is just insane. Like I at least 50 carts. Like the minimum that the Briggs Senior class gets is 35. I mean, it's unbelievable. But I've just gotten to the point where I wanted to race Briggs, but I never really. After the 2024 season, my dad was like, we need to start focusing on, K, and mostly my mom, because my dad, since I've gotten good at Briggs, it's just like my dad wants to do it more and he wants to see me do good. And my mom's like, for recognition and everything, just to get your name out there, you need to run like bigger stuff like KA Nationals or like something with X30 or something. Because this Briggs stuff, even though it's up and growing, it's not, it doesn't give you near as much recognition as something like AKA last weekend. Like if I won, say, like a club race, I would not be on Kart Chaser Grid Talk right now. So yeah, this weekend I was sponsored by Fanny Farkles. Shout out to Fanny Farkles, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, with their amazing corn dogs. But yeah, it's basically my friend Brock Knowles and Cheryl and Jim. That family, they've helped me out so much, especially with like from this weekend, the 2 club races. They paid for my entry fee, and I ran old tires both times because me and my dad were like, we're just running Briggs. We're not paying for new tires, because I remember this race, I ran X32, so that was expensive enough for just a club race. So, and I was just having fun. Like the pre-finals, I mean, I had just gotten good at, I would never, especially with these Briggs club races, I never thought I would be slow. Like I just had so much confidence in me in the cart because I had done it so many times. I had so much fun in this pre-final. This was the pre-final before the final, and I was just goofing around and I was waving at everybody.
This was during a
picture.
race?
Yeah, this was the pre-final.
That's
I was
crazy.
I was goofing around. I remember one time I did that slouch tuck and I near lost the draft. I was like, I gotta lock in real quick. I caught back
That's
up
like-
to him. And
Dude, it doesn't work, right? I can't ever get the slouch tuck
Yeah.
to work. Because I did
Okay.
it one time. I did it at Grands in 21, and I fell out the seat and I couldn't get back in the seat. And I went through
Okay.
turn 1, not in the seat.
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. So there was this club race in October, and I was fighting for the championship at this point from Caleb. And that weekend I won both of the finals. But in one of the finals, in that final, when Christopher was in first, I was pushing Christopher and James was pushing me. And we just got told to do the tuck just for fun. And we all did the tuck and we set purple that lap. And I have no idea. We have a picture of the Kiefer tuck of us doing, all 3 of us doing the Kiefer tuck. It's just it's funny, but I have no idea how we set the
That's crazy.
I have no idea how we set it that lap, but it was just funny. It's just
Yeah.
a joke now. I just do it for fun.
Yeah. I was gonna say shout out Brock too, because it was his first national KA race.
Yeah.
He got
Brock,
he was top 10, I think, most of his 2 heats, and then finished the final in the top 20. So
yeah, he's been doing like very well for, especially I met Brock last year, and I wouldn't say I started coaching him at first, but I wouldn't say I was coaching him because I wasn't getting paid because I was friends with him, you know what I'm saying? And I was staying at his house and everything. So I was like, you don't gotta pay me. So, I I've kind of helped him into getting in with Brandon, and I feel like that's helped him out tremendously, especially with him being able to do his first K national here. And he's done very well, and I'm very proud of him for that. And you know, uh, almost being top 10 in every session, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, there you
What
go.
a guy.
We
Giving Brandon clients too. This guy's a true team player.
Hey, that's what it's all about. We actually have one more here on the. I actually kind of spoiled it because I clicked the wrong button, but we're gonna go into it here. Talk about this one.
Yeah, that was that weekend, or yeah, I think that was that weekend where my dad told me we were done if I kept spinning out. And I remember I got coaching from this random guy that was apparently good there. I wish I knew him now because not everybody, but most of the people that helped me out when I really started, I was this little, so I don't remember much of them, and I wish I could say thank you for getting me kind of started in this and kind of helping me. And yeah, this picture was after I think the final, and I was just happy to I was just happy to do it. I had such a good time. I remember we only had one gear, and I was just topped out at this entire track. I was just riding the throttle, and I remember getting lapped a few times because they're just blowing by me. But at this point in time, I didn't care as long as I was having fun, and I didn't really care where I finished. I got third in this race out of 3, but I got a trophy. But I was happy. Look, I'm smiling in this picture. But I had a really fun time this race. I remember I used that helmet probably one time, and I went to Daytona and they told me I had to get a different one because like the Snell or something was off. It wasn't certified or something. So I literally have this helmet that's like one race old. I've taken like to the rental track like a few times for fun. But yeah, this picture is pretty sentimental to me because it's really just where I started with the Converse. I remember my second pair of Converse were some all black racing Converse. I used to wear Converse instead of race shoes, but yeah, this picture was pretty big. It was my first race, which wasn't really a race. Daytona was my first race, but yeah.
I tell you what, the neck brace was probably part of the problem. That thing is massive.
That thing's a whole
Massive.
toilet seat.
That thing is massive. I bet you couldn't even move your head driving around.
It's like a dog cone, man.
It's like those mini drivers that like have this big helmet and this neck brace, and all you see is them up like this. I
Yeah.
don't think they can move their head.
No.
I had a race in Kershaw when I think it was Mini and Yamaha Junior. I was racing like one cadet class, one junior class.
Massive.
And I had like one of the EVS neck braces that was way too big, and it got caught to like the chin of my helmet. And so I was driving around like looking up the whole race. And I come off the track, like I can't move my neck. And so I had to like get my mom to like go down and take the helmet off. And I was like, oh my God. Somehow won the race. But I was like, after that race, I was like, I am never wearing a big neck brace again. If I wear a neck brace, it's got to be like borderline too small.
Yeah. There we go. But Jared, it's honestly been a really fun time having you on. And I feel like we've learned so much about you, right? In the past hour, it feels like that we've had you on. So we appreciate you coming on. It's been a good time. Congrats on your first national victory. At the end of each one of our segment, goodness gracious! At the end of each of our segments, whenever we bring guests on, we usually give you guys the opportunity to promote yourselves a little bit, talk about what's coming up for you, what's next, where people can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can really just find me anywhere. My Instagram kind of in the bottom left there. I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but it's Jared M. Clarke, and I I post a good bit on TikTok. It's Jared.Clarke, and I think the next few races are still to be determined, but after that Charlotte win, I feel like now I have to do the rest of the series in stars. So I guess you guys will see me in NCMP try to run it back. But we'll try to see if we can do USPKS in about 2 weeks or so. I think it'll be a really good time for me to learn some more, and especially with like more learning experience. Like there's never a race that you aren't gonna learn anything. So I'm gonna try to do that, but I don't have all the money in the world, so let's see what we can do. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And really, from Stars NCMP and maybe that, and maybe the club race, I might show up. But I mean, there's really nothing to be truly determined other than Stars Newcastle. So we really just go by what my dad says and what we're like, oh yeah, let's do it. So that's pretty much all.
Hey, well, there you go. It's been a pleasure having you on, and it was cool watching your first race win. I know these boys enjoyed it. They were talking about it at the end of the weekend, and once the weekend ended, they sent the text. They're like, "Yeah, there's no way we don't have Jared on this week," and I completely agreed. So it's been great having you on. We've enjoyed it. You honestly killed it. You did great. So we're very thankful for you coming on and spending this last hour with us.
I just want to say
thank you.
I just want to say one thing before he goes. I remember at the end of the club banquet this year, I had a chance to interview Jared twice, and I asked Jared like 2 questions on stage. I think I like caught you off guard with how I asked them. And so I thought about that time. I was like, damn, I got to make sure I don't like put him overly on the spot again. So I think every single year I've interviewed you, you've gotten significantly better. So
Yeah, especially
off
with
to you on
my first interview. You guys interviewed me. I was so nervous. I remember
Was it at
Paul
Trackhouse?
Massimino. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
It
I
was-
literally, I remember that because it was at Trackhouse, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna grab you for an interview." I think it was Miami Grands, if I'm not mistaken. And I grab you, and I'm like, "Hey, we're gonna do an interview." And then, obviously, per usual, everybody at BJR lines up and like starts getting ready to mess with you while it goes on. And I was actually kind of mad because I knew you were nervous, so I turned around and I was like, "All you guys gotta go, like leave now, or else I'm gonna be really, really mad." Like after this. And they all kind of left. And then I think once I turned around and we started, they all came back. And I was like, Jared, just please hold on to it. Please hold on to it. And you actually did great. So it was good. But yeah, you've grown so much.
I try my best. Paul got me laughing in the middle of the interview, so I didn't get. I mean, I feel like, especially from my first interview, I have gotten a little better about it. So I've gotten a way more comfortable with you guys, especially because you guys are so nice, especially Xander and everybody with Kart Chaser. So I love all you guys.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. The feeling is definitely mutual, and we'll see you, I guess, pretty soon. King of the Castle, it seems like the next race we'll see you at. But thank you very much for joining us here, Jared.
Yes, sir.